Today on Media Alert Sandwich, we have good friend of the show, Jason Paluchniak. And what are you currently working on?
My next project I'm doing is trying to photograph the International Space Station. And it's really tricky because it's going so fast and getting the focus and the exposure right.
All right, we talk about that, film cameras. Jason always goes in his underwater stuff, which is fantastic and a little wet. And then for Toaden Reads, we look through a top 10 list of bad habits of photography. And there's some good ones in there and some ones that shouldn't be in that list.
Yeah, we might skip over a few.
Okay.
I don't know.
The views and opinions expressed in Media Litter Sandwich do not reflect on the views of the network, station, studio, website, sponsors, guests, hosts themselves, anyone or anything else associated or even not associated with this podcast. Maybe not even the person that said them. In other words, do your own research and do not sue anyone over what is said on this show.
Like this awesome movie, and it's kind of like ruined now because now I know like behind the scenes of how, it was done, but it was so epic.
Well, welcome to Media Alert Sandwich. I'm Scotty, better known as Toaden from Toaden.com. And of course, welcome to Media Litter Sandwich, where you can find us on MediaLitterSandwich.com, many podcast apps, and of course, DV Radio. And guess what? Now on DV Radio, if you go to listen to us on dvradio.net, or your Live 365 app. I prefer dvradio.net because you can chat with us every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time Zone. And now we're first playing on there. So if you want to hear the podcast first, go on Tuesdays, go listen to us live, and you could chat with us and be the first person to listen to the podcast. And today we are, of course, filming/recording at the Foundation Studio at the Foundation Hotel in I almost said downriver. No, we're downtown.
Downtown Detroit.
I'm used to being downriver. Except for every single day when I'm downtown. That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, downtown Detroit, literally looking at Cobo Hall right to our right. And this is always a beautiful hotel, and the people that work here are always so amazing to me. And speaking amazing to me, today I have good friend of the show, Jason. I just say Jason P. or Jason Long, yep. Polish last name.
Jason Paluchniak. Yep.
Paluchniak. Mm-hmm. Man, your last name makes me hungry.
Yeah, Polish sausage or something.
Yeah, you know what? I just could use a little Paluchniak, and just nibble.
TMI.
Oh!
This is an awesome hotel here. I just got a chance to walk around through it a little bit. It's very beautiful. If you get a chance, check it out.
And it's kind of like an art gallery, too, because there's always little arts. I did notice it's like every month they have a new artist being featured, and then a couple of the other paintings get swapped out around. But it's fantastic. I'm going to try and get the main artist to come on the show.
I got to check out the food, too. That looks delicious.
Yeah.
So I saw some of the stuff being served out.
Anyways, Jason, go ahead and update us, or at least remind the audience what you do.
So I do photography on the side and triathlons, photograph models, and do a little video projects here and there. And right now it's the summer, so I'm doing triathlons. I got like something going on every other weekend. Swim, bike, run is mostly the stuff, or a 5K run. In 2 weeks, I got a biathlon. It's run, swim, run, swim, run. And you got to carry your shoes with you on a little bag, and you swim with the shoes. Some people like just swim with their shoes on or stuff like that. But it's a challenging course.
Right, and you're happy that that you're taking pictures of it versus participating.
Mm-hmm. But it feels like I do, like a 5K run because I have to walk out in the course and then walk back. And then I look at my pedometer. I did, a 3K, a 5K walk.
Yeah.
But I'm lugging around all the gear. Yeah.
Right. It's definitely a workout.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I was doing the zombie walks, I was doing way more than because I would do the whole parade. I guess I refer to them as parades because that's what it is. I'm running around the whole parade back and forth. I'm going from the front of the line to the back of the line, and I usually end up back at the front multiple times with all my gear.
And I asked you this one time. I was like, Toad, you have this giant camera that's the size of like a rocket launcher. I was like, why do you have this big honking thing that weighs 35 pounds? Here's this little small like Sony camera or whatever that weighs a half an ounce. And what you said, you want everyone to look at you. So everyone's going to look at the big camera and not the little camera.
Yeah.
And so there's a factor in that.
And you can see the difference. I'm not talking quality-wise, because you can use any camera as long as you know how to use it. I mean, DSLRs are absolutely beautiful, and you can do a lot of stuff with them. For these things, I prefer a broadcast camera because I don't want to swap out my lenses. Not saying you can't just run with one lens the whole time.
But when you want like 30 people looking at you all at the same time, they're going to look at the big camera versus the small one.
I use the same camera, or at least it used to be the same camera a lot of news outlets use, and some of them still use that same line. They might use the newer model because my camera is getting kind of old now. But some of the smaller stations still use very similar model as I use. But yeah, it's a broadcast it's more of an ENG, electronic news gathering camera than what you would call a DSLR or a run and gun, even though ENGs by definitions are run and gun cameras. You just literally grab it and you go and you get what you need.
And I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers, they'll have like a DSLR camera and then they'll put a microphone and all this stuff on it. And it's building up heavier and heavier gear.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have to have, I mean,
they should just go ahead and buy the cinema camera because they're adding all this stuff on it. You buy the cinema camera, it's already built in, the ND filter and all this other stuff. And then,
Yeah. I mean, a lot of filmmakers, they're running around with shoulder rigs and a big setup and a cage and everything. And sometimes you got to look at them and go, if you just grabbed depending on the look they're going for, you could already grabbed an ENG camera and do it, depending on the look they're going for. Obviously, if you want like a red camera, you're gonna build everything up, and it's a lot of personal preference, a lot of stuff. Because of what I've done in the past, it's just what I currently have. If I had the money to buy more cameras, I totally would, and I would figure out something else.
I got a sidetrack here. I got this baby stroller. It's a jogging stroller with the giant 15-inch wheels, three-wheel jogging stroller. So I could put my camera and a tripod on the baby stroller, and then I get nice, steady footage.
I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to get again, don't have the money for this, but I want to get a mini Segway, which you can control by your phone, and they're built to be stable and everything like that. And I want to put a 360 camera mounted up on the mini Segway. The mini Segway it's kind of like a hoverboard, except for bigger tires, made by Segway, is stable. It's the one that you control with your knees, so you put like a monopod up on that. So you have a 360 camera, eye level, and you can control it by your phone.
Nice. I seen someone.
I do have a Segway scooter now too.
Someone was doing the lawn with the weed whacker, and he was on a Segway, and he was ripping up and down the sidewalk with his Segway. I was like, oh, that is so awesome, and the gas power.
Yeah. I do have an electronic Segway scooter now that I won at Infocom through Rave Publications. I need to try to figure out how to incorporate that, except for I have to have my hands on the handle. So maybe I put a GoPro or something on the handle. Speaking of different cameras, you have a couple toys with us today.
Yes. Maybe
not so much modern or digital, but definitely of interest.
So I went backwards in technology. Film,
which is a growing trend. There's a lot of people using film cameras now.
So I got my 35 millimeter film, and I got my 120 film, bigger film, and digital now.
Bigger film. That's a good technical term.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 times bigger than 35.
Okay.
With digital, you kind of get carried away and go clickety click, 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 and then before you know it, you got like 500 photos of like the same thing. And film really helps you slow down, and it takes longer to get the right exposure, get in focus, and so it's nice to and also mechanically too, because there's all these mechanical switches and stuff, and just the joy of taking the photo. And you only got a roll of 36 on one, or like 12 images on the big guy here, and it's expensive to develop it. So each shot is like cha-ching, cha-ching out of your wallet, and
that's just depressing. Every shot. Well, there goes money.
Yeah.
There goes money.
Yeah. Oh, that could have been a sandwich, but I just took a couple shots.
Right.
But the quality, though, because everyone, is doing digital, but then this film look is kind of coming back. And there's something about film with the grain that's kind of unique. And so I got a few people that say, oh, let's shoot film. And, I got the gear, and it's really nice.
People do a lot of stuff with digital to make it look like film, too, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, and then with the film editing, I was like, okay, I got to roll 36, and that take half an hour to just kind of do a quick edit, crop, process, done. And I said the 500 or 300 photos on the digital, you're spending hours at night going through and no, yes, maybe, and cropping and deleting and.
Yeah, but that's also a sign of someone that's been taking pictures for a while. Versus an amateur photographer, or someone that just doesn't know what they're grabbing. Yeah. Like if you run out with kind of a half, not fully knowing what you're going to take pictures of, like a tourist. They're walking down, hiking.
Oh, that looks really nice. Take a picture of it.
Take a picture. Oh, wait, does it look better like here or there? And it gives them that freedom to take all the pictures.
And you learn from your mistake. So you take a picture. Oh, that didn't work. You take another. You do adjustment. Take another picture. And it's, okay, now I learned. Don't do this, but do this.
And we're also talking about someone that will take for yourself, who's either getting paid or you want your pictures displayed somewhere to show your work. So you kind of have a better idea. And each picture does take time. Yep. Time is money. And you said that click is like a cash register against you. Unless you're working for a client. I don't know.
The one of my good photographers, she told me about how before you take the picture, would someone buy this photo? Yes or no? If no, don't take the photo. And that relieved a lot of stress on taking pictures and stuff. And when I'm framing it up, well, that looks like really nice. I might take the. It's not buying worthy. No one would buy this photo, and then I don't take the photo, and then I'm taking less photos now because it's like it's like, oh, that looks cool, like a keepsake reminder of something, but it's not a like epic photo of something happening.
Well, you go back to am I taking this photo for myself or for a client or for who?
And then this gets lost in the timeline.
Right. And people are going back to film. I've talked to younger photographers that are asking about, digital video. And like, I'm just seeing what the difference is because I usually use a film camera. Like, wait, you're taking pictures on film, so you don't know how to operate a digital video camera right now. Huh, interesting. Tell me more about your film. So it's really come back. In fact, I saw a Kickstarter that has a package that will turn your film camera to a digital camera, where you can take the pictures all digitally and all that good stuff, or at least give you a nice digital preview if that's all that you prefer.
Yeah, the resolution's not that great, but there's some stuff that fits inside of like a film canister. And
okay. So you've looked at those.
Yeah. But still, it's not the film. You got the film. You might as well put the film in.
Yeah, I mean, right now I think it's more of a toy when you're doing stuff like that. But, I mean, options. It gives people way more options, and also a reason to, if they're not doing it professionally, if they just want to go play around, they could get to know their camera without spending a ton of money on film.
Yeah. And then the cool thing about film, I go to Greenfield Village or a historical park, or I'm shooting classic cars. And like here's a car from the 1930s or something, and someone's dressed up in the period outfit. So let me shoot film with this, so it has the look. It completes the look. And just.
But does it? I mean, you could just throw a filter on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do everything you want in editing, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm playing devil's advocate. Crazy. I mean, wait, are you telling me I can't just take my my iPhone or Pixel 3 and take this high quality photo with my phone, and I just can't throw some filters on it and Instagram later?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
You can.
Yeah. Everyone's a photographer now, though. But these are
Yeah,
things
with these
to
iPhones, everyone's taking pictures of iPhone with the iPhones and Android and Samsung and whatever. And but for me, it's like a photo that tells.
I think
a
I
story.
broke his story. I broke his spirit. I'm sorry.
Wah wah. So, moving on, the summer. There's a lot of things to shoot in the summer here. Night photography, especially when there's called new moon, when the moon's not out, you can see
Did I see that Twilight movie? No. I would
moon.
never watch Twilight movies. Go ahead. Sorry.
The solar system. It's amazing to see all these stars pop out when the moon's not out, and so I'm like, oh right, the new moon. I want to go out to the Dark Sky Park, and it's cloudy. I'm like, I got to wait another month. And then another month comes by, and then it's cloudy, it's rainy. I'm like, no, come on. And then so I got a couple of people going out to another Dark Sky Park, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go into the next one. Hopefully, it would be a nice blue sky, dark sky, no clouds. And
maybe one of these days I'll invite you up to the cabin. Mm-hmm. There's some.
But it's nice because it's warm at night. Because when I shoot in the winter, it's you're freezing my butt off.
Yeah.
And
well, you said you're filming or you're taking pictures at night of the sky, and you have a new moving target you're trying to get.
Oh yeah, so the International Space Station. So someone brought up to my attention, was like, "Hey, I want to try this ISS International Space Station. I want to shoot that." And so
with a camera. With a camera.
So to make it, because I seen it 2 months ago, the International Space Station at night fly overhead, and it looks like a TIE fighter flying overhead, because you got the solar panels and then you got the core with the tubing and everything. And I was like, whoa, there it is, cool. And then so my friend, he says, I want to shoot the International Space Station, but with the sun behind it. So there's all different types of apps or transit finders. I forgot the website, but anyway, we found the location, so we were all lined up, and there's clouds. I'm like, we waited like weeks for this moment, and then there's clouds. But we're looking at what other people were shooting, and we got to shoot really fast shutter speed, because that thing is going thousands of miles an hour, and like even 1,000th of a second, you're gonna get shutter blur. So you got to bump that shutter.
Right.
Speed.
You're shooting digital, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a solar filter on the lens, and with a 400 millimeter, and then a 1.4 extender on there.
Okay.
And the guy I was shooting with, he had a 600 millimeter. I'm a little jealous with this giant lens. I'm like, oh, man.
Looks more like a bazooka than it does a camera.
So, but I've seen people shoot with the International Space Station with the moon behind it, or the sun, or just the International Space Station in outer space. But so that's my bucket list right now. I'm trying to capture.
Like, how do you plan for that? Like, is it only certain nights where you might be, obviously weather, but besides the weather, when is it visible?
Well, with the sun, you can't really see it until it crosses the sun.
Okay.
And it's only like 2.5 seconds, and go whoop, and
2.5 seconds a night, or
no, 2.5 seconds during the day. It passes the sun, so you got to be like ready and start clicking away.
But how do you know when it's going to pass?
There's all these apps online, and the transit. I'm sorry, I don't have the website with me.
If people are interested, they could Google it. Gotcha.
Yeah, and the ISS transit, and there's.
So you use so there's apps. People, this is a known hobby.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, is it different for where you're at? Obviously, Michigan's gonna be different than I don't know.
Southern state or
whatever. Or another country or something. Brazil's gonna see it differently than America.
Yeah, and then you got the rotation of the Earth axis. So different types of the year you're not able to get it, but the other months you're able to get it. So you have that small window, and I guess it's kind of like a bucket list of like, I got the shot and you didn't. So there's the.
Yeah. Well, is that harder to get than, let's say, lightning striking?
Yep. So we had rain here in Detroit a few weeks ago, and I got a couple of shots of lightning hitting Detroit last year, and I was let me do that again this year. So. I look at the forecast, and it said 70% chance of lightning. I'm like, yes. I head down to Detroit, no rain, no lightning. I'm like, then there's this another. 60% chance of rain and lightning. I head down there, and I missed it. I'm like, darn it. And,
It's because you're here.
yeah.
I mean, a month or so ago, over at the Downriver Comic Show and Collectibles Expo, whatever. I mean, we had lightning hit the building. So,
But it's,
so if you're hanging out with us, you would saw lightning hitting a building.
Yeah. So there's a sensor that detects lightning, and then it takes the picture, and then I have it set for
Wait,
like
you
30
could get
seconds.
a sensor for that?
Yeah.
Like an add-on physical sensor that you buy?
Yeah, and then so if there's like 6 lightning strikes, it takes 6 photos, and there's a sensitivity level.
So you bought this thing that, how much does that cost?
But it's about
And how does it work?
$40, but it does other triggers and
Okay,
stuff.
so it's not just a lightning sensor.
no.
It's a light sensor is pretty much what it is.
And I could remote
Gotcha.
it to my phone too. So if I want to remotely take a photo of my with my phone, trigger the camera, I could do that too. So it has other purposes.
Okay.
And there's a laser thing, so a laser trip thing. So if someone passes by and trips the laser, it would take a photo. There's a vibration thing, so if it feels vibration, it would take a photo. So there's wildlife Pluto trigger is what it's called.
Okay, now I'm
feel
either
like it.
thinking of the dwarf planet. That's what it's called, right? Dwarf planet and the Disney dog. Pluto, stay away! You're gonna trigger the sensor.
But it's a nice trigger. It has multiple purposes. And the lightning was one of them. But I got one epic shot of the lightning in a wide angle lens. I'm on a parking structure, and then you can see the whole city, and this lightning going all the way across Detroit, and then zapping one tower. And but that took me 3 attempts, like 3 days, and then.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, are you still doing underwater stuff?
Yeah.
Underwater photography, excuse me. I know stuff is a very technical term.
Yeah. So with my triathlon, the swim, bike, run, I'm in the water photographing the swimmers. And then when I'm not doing that, I got a accessory. It's a dome lens. So I could do like a 50-50 split above and below water. You get the whole scene.
It's like the scenes where people see where like like a couple, one person's below the water, one person's above the water, and they're staring at each other. That's kind of the picture or the frame that you see a lot. And I always thought that was Photoshop. Like they took a picture of one and they took a picture of the other. I didn't realize you could take that picture in one shot. That's an actual picture. I mean, it looks beautiful.
You do that with the dome lens because it displaces the water outward. So then you could see both. If you have a flat glass, you can't. You only get one or the other. It's so I'm working with one model. She's going to dress up as a mermaid, looking up underwater, and then a pirate on the pier looking down.
Now you see why we're friends.
So I mean, but trying to get the mermaid and the pirate and then the location, and trying to get all this stuff together.
Right.
That's just so that's kind of my other bucket list I want to get to.
Right. I mean, you usually shoot in a pool.
Yeah, because the pool I could see all the way across, and with the lake here in Michigan, it's Lake Murky. I only get like 7 feet, and then it's just all the trees and the sap and everything kind of.
Yeah, you might actually have to build a set or something like have a fake dock or something.
No, yeah, I'll just probably go to a local dock, one of these lakes, to check that out, or I'll just do a pool. Have a guy look over the pool.
Yeah.
In the pirate outfit and the mermaid looking up.
Yeah. Or have them in a boat or something like that. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, a rowboat. Yeah,
Yeah.
he could be on a rowboat
That'd be cool.
or a kayak looking.
A pirate on a kayak. Sounds like one of my excursions.
See, that's another thing with my underwater. I want to get this shot. So, like, imagine you fishing. I get that shot above, and then below, I'll get the fishing lure and the worm.
Oh, yeah.
And then get like a school of fish kind of floating around the worm.
Yeah, that's
But
fun.
but the problem, I got to be like really slow and gentle, not to scare the fish away. But if you get in an area that's like a lot of fish, that would be a really cool shot.
Okay.
So I'm looking for those epic shots, and I got the gear now, so I want to get these shots done. And it's the summer, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm all game. Let's do this.
Where do you buy your gear from?
What the underwater stuff or the just
In general, when you're like, I need to buy something, how do you start your search?
I always support the brick and mortar store.
Okay.
I need them around, and then it's nice to I need help. I ask help at so we got ProCam.
Oh yeah, that's a nice
close.
store.
They know me by name. They're like, hey, how you doing? What do you need? And
we're not sponsored by them. We're just talking about local stores, and they also have a great back studio too, which they do teach workshops and stuff.
So go to your local store, buy stuff there first. If they don't have it, then outsource it to any website.
Yeah, and if you do go to Amazon, try Smiled on Amazon. It doesn't cost you anything more. It's just whatever you buy, a small percentage of that will go to charity, and it adds up. So you get to choose your charity of choice. And of course, being part of DV Radio, we like to tell people our charity of choice is DV Farm, which it is our charity of choice. I do switch it every once in a while, but I definitely keep DV Farm on there as my default.
eBay's good because that's where I got these two cameras here. And then let me show you the sound of this old film camera. This is awesome. So I cock it and then
To do that again, that sounds awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
I love that sound.
The sound is so different. You don't get that in digital, so it's something different.
Yeah. Oh man, I do love these microphones.
You pick that up. Rewind.
Oh yeah,
time
dude,
index.
I'm isolating. That's for myself. I'm isolating that sound. Oh yeah, and people don't know, which you wouldn't know. Video version is different than the audio version. We're using Heil microphones. Again, not a sponsor.
Heil.
It's what's in the podcast studio at the beautiful Foundation Hotel.
This is a really nice place too. I was pleasantly surprised. It's
Well, what are you saying? It's better than my old apartment?
No, you had all your little figurines and stuff. That was kind of fun to see. And then you had that model, that doll,
What model doll?
what was that one called?
Oh, the mannequin.
The mannequin, yeah. Yeah, that was.
Man, I want to get Svetlana out of storage. I would, if I had the time to set this place up every time I came in, I'd probably have another camera or two set up. I'd probably have the banner in the window so people know what we are, and I would probably have the mannequin just hanging out on the side wearing a shirt.
So on the video version, we have this yellow background, but we're looking at this window of people walking by. And they're like looking at us and waving hi, and then just kind of people watch. It's kind of fun here too.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
So that's like if we got distracted. That's what we're looking at people driving by, walking by.
The first few episodes in here, I was so distracted.
Yeah.
It was so hard. It took me a while to get used to it.
Yeah.
So for the Toaden rate section, I just did a quick search for photo tips or whatever, and I end up on 9 Bad Habits of Photographers from digitalphotographyschool.com. I'm not really familiar with them, but it has school in the title, so it's got to be good, right? I don't know. So we could go through some of these tips. We'll just read the highlights. Let's see. Does it have an author's name? Valerie Jardin is the author's name. So if you want to know, you could always just Google 9 Bad Habits of Photographers by Valerie Jardin, and that's on digital-photography-school.com. And I do not see a date up front, so I like to note that. And it doesn't look like it's too spammy. I don't it's all on one page, it looks like. So the bolded ones is, we go from 1 to 9. Okay.
All right.
So number 1, not taking your camera everywhere with you. I don't think that's a bad habit. I mean, now everyone's got a camera on them, obviously their cell phone, but taking their good. I used to take a video camera with me everywhere I went, and I think the worst part of that wasn't me not using it all the time. It was other people telling me to use it.
Well, the other problem too is like if I got an expensive camera, I don't want to take it everywhere.
Yeah.
And then that's why
Because you don't want to leave it in the car. If you're going, if you're like, I got to run there in the grocery store, you don't want to leave that in the car.
Yeah, that's why you have like a cheap camera or whatever. But like that one guy, he says the best camera you have is the one with you, and that's like in whatever phone you have.
Yeah, nowadays that's your phone, and you could do some amazing stuff with your phone. Not saying it's primary camera,
but like sometimes on my big camera is overkill for what I need. You know, I don't need this big f 2.8 lens and 70 to 200. My 24 to 105 f4 lens is more than adequate. You know.
Okay, in the article they do kind of address it. The best camera is the one you have on you. So it may not always be the DSLR, but I do got my iPhone. Yeah, that's pretty much what we said. I don't want to read this word for word or nothing like that. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. So do I agree? I don't think that's a tip. I don't think that's a habit at all. You're going to have your phone on you. I think that's an outdated. I think that's just outdated. Everyone, even my girlfriend, she, goes through parks and everything like that. She can't bring a big camera because she doesn't want to break it when she's hiking and stuff like that.
What if you're hiking or jogging? You don't want to bring the... Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad habit tip. I think that's just a general, hey, you are your photographer. You always got a camera with you, and your best one's the one you have on you.
Now, to add on that, to reverse it, what would be a cool thing is if you're at a park or a beach somewhere, turn your cellular phone off. Enjoy the moment. You're walking in a park. Don't get distracted by text message, this, that, and the other thing. Just turn your phone off. Be within the park. Enjoy the park for what it is. Yeah. Don't get distracted by... I would recommend that. Turn off any notifications and stuff.
I do not like recording concerts when I'm in attendance because I'm there to enjoy it. I don't. I put away my phone. Yes. I don't bring anything with me. I might have my phone with me, but I don't record it. I recently went to a comic show, and I decided I'm not bringing my video camera. I'm just gonna let all the cosplay go by. I'm not gonna, and I enjoyed it. And I had some great conversations with people I don't really get to spend that much time with.
I've seen this so many times. Like everyone in the front row, they're recording it, like the whole concert with their iPad or their phones or whatever. And I'm like, good. I got 20 or 30 people in the front row recording this concert. I'm just going to enjoy the concert as it is and have a good time. And then
always taking pictures and always taking video. That to me is a bad habit of a photographer.
Let me finish this real quick.
Yeah,
so
please.
at the end of like a week or two later, I'll just YouTube the concert. And I was like, oh, here's this person in the front row. I could get a snippet of the concert, and then so that would be my remembrance of it. But then I enjoyed the melody and the beat and the people around me, and I'm not. Because when you're trying to focus, you're trying to hold the camera steady, and you're not there.
And what are you going to use it for?
Yeah,
it's for yourself. And I used to do that. I used to record like a little, like a chorus of one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And I realized later on, what am I using this for? This is for myself, absolutely for myself. But what am I using it for? Nothing. And other people do enjoy doing that, but to me, that's a bad habit. A photographer, a videographer is always doing it, even when you don't have to. Enjoy it.
And then I like this, like some concerts. They say you don't have to take the photos. We're gonna have someone behind the studio recording the whole thing. We're having it professionally recorded, so you could have the free recording later. So you don't have to hold your camera up.
Okay, next tip in this article, the number 2. Sleeping late and missing that good early light. That's a habit? I thought the habit was getting up really early.
Let's sleep. Yeah, well, yeah, you got the good morning, the golden hour.
Yeah.
Thing.
I thought, what's the name of this article again? Bad habits of photographers. See, I think most photographers I know get up, or if they want that morning light, they planned for it. That's not.
Well, my triathlon.
I don't know what their definition of a photographer is.
I have to get up at 7:00 in the morning or earlier.
So you get to sleep in.
No.
On my normal day, I get up at 5 in the morning. On my normal day.
Oh.
That's my normal day. Is 5 in the morning. So to me, 7 a.m. it's like when I
7 a.m. is sleeping in.
Yeah, when I go do an event, I don't have to be there till 10, and it's a less than an hour drive. I wake up at 8 a.m. To me, that's sleeping in, because my normal. See, that's the funny thing about videography and photography. So much things you have to do. You have to get up really early in the morning. Doesn't matter that you do your best work at night, that you're editing at night, that you're writing at night. but you always have a reason to get up really early in the morning.
The other thing too is I try to get there to an event like 30 minutes or an hour before. And because I've seen some where there's ice on the roads and everyone's driving 10 miles an hour trying to get through these icy roads or whatever else, or there's traffic or, some sort of collision or, I took a wrong turn. Now it's going to take me 12 minutes to double back. And it's always nice to get there, a little bit early so you're not rushed and sweating. And then you're forgetting stuff because you're trying to grab stuff out of the car and run.
Right.
So, get there early.
Yeah, so they're saying sleeping late and missing that good early light. I don't agree that that's a habit.
Yeah, because what if you're a night shooter? What if you shoot stuff at night? So
right.
that doesn't.
Then that's just your normal. Yeah, I don't know. Getting lazy. This is okay. I agree with this one. Getting lazy with white balance settings. I agree with this. Right now, I have automatic white balance on my camera. I've gotten lazy with it. I also don't have someone standing behind that camera
to adjust it.
Readjusting.
We had an incident where the clouds are coming in, and we had to adjust the exposure on the camera. But also, too, talking about white balance, but exposure with the film cameras, I'm always using a light meter to make sure, like, is this the right exposure? I'm using a light meter, and I've been shooting film quite a bit now. I'm using a light meter on my digital stuff. And I was like,
which is a good habit.
Yeah, and then it's cool with my digital stuff. I take my first shot, and the exposure is nailed on perfect. Normally, without the light meter, I guesstimate, and then look at the histogram. And I was like, that's a little too hot. Bring it down, or whatever. That's not hot enough. Bring it up. But the light meter, it saves you time and guessing, and you get the right exposure of the first shot.
Right. When you're shooting outside, because the sun changes a lot. How often do you revisit your settings?
Oh, it depends on, cloudy or whatnot. But I've done that where, like, a big cloud comes in, I get caught in the moment, and then I'm like, oh, darn,
I try to even set an alarm or something to try to keep an eye on it.
Well, it's like
I try to do at least every half hour to an hour. I talked to people that said no, every 3 hours, which I think is just way too long to not pay attention.
It's like when you're driving a car. How often do you check the gas tank and the overheating engine and stuff? And it's a personal preference on stuff. But I like some of the cameras that have the lock settings, so you can't accidentally bump and rotate a dial so it's too overexposed or underexposed or stuff.
Yeah, and depending on what you're doing, it's so easy to just lock everything in and out. It's so easy to get lazy on it. So I will. So I totally agree with it. It's easy to get lazy with white balance and focus as well. It's so easy to get lazy with the focus, especially doing a live event. Like, I got to grab that right now before they stop. Focus. So you just throw an autofocus and you just run and gun all day. It's easy to get lazy with that. I think that was a good.
Well, the f 1.2, 1.4 lens, everyone's like, oh, shallow depth of field, everything. But when you're shallow, you're gonna miss. It's so narrow.
Yeah.
You don't need to shoot at f 1 point something, f 2.8. You bring it on some of these things. I'm shooting at f 7 or f 8. I need to make sure it's in focus, so I'm shooting wider. I'd rather get the shot than miss it because it's out of focus because of the narrow depth of field.
Okay. Number 4, letting dust get on the sensor.
I do a quick. I don't leave that sensor open that often. I do quick. But I do clean it every so often. Okay. I'll get my kit, take the lens off.
Do you think do you think that belongs on this list as bad habits?
Of not cleaning it or cleaning it?
Letting dust get on the sensors.
Yeah, that's right. Because then you have to Photoshop out the little pixels.
Yeah.
And then that's you're adding more work for yourself.
I want someone to clean my lens for my camera.
Yeah, but they have the wand for the different, like the 35 or the crop sensor, and it's like you put like the alcohol on the wand and you go up, down, left, right, and you shine it with your flashlight.
A/B select start.
Mm-hmm. And then. And then, so I shine it with my flashlight to see if I see any shadows. And then I take the lens off, take a picture of a white wall, and then you could see any imperfections. I go to zoom in and see if that imperfection's still there or not.
Oh, I like this next one too. I totally agree with this being a common bad habit. Settling for the good shot and not looking for more. Yeah, that shot will work.
Yeah, well, I have my A shot, B shot. Like, I want to go there. I want to get this shot, and then you
And
aim
every time
for
you
that.
click, like, oh shit, that cost me money. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm going back to what you're saying earlier.
But then this is like we have we'll agree as okay, we're going to go there. We're going to do these images.
Mm-hmm.
But as we're there, we're like, oh my god, look at this thing over here. Let's shoot this. So when you're in the environment, it inspires, and the environment inspires you. You don't know until you get there, and then you might be shooting something totally different.
Yeah, there's definitely a line there from, oh, I know let's see if I could get a better shot, and then that translates into I just shot so many pictures and so much video of this one thing because I kept thinking that there's a better shot. I have all these great shots, but now I don't know which one to use, and I spent way so much time, and that's how I end up with the 300 images.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. Like
there's definitely a
line.
So, yes. A shot list.
A shot list, so then I know, okay, I'm going to bring this and this and this, and I don't need to bring all this other gear. And that helps get my bag a lot smaller.
Yeah. And this author, to their credit, they actually mentioned that. You got the shot you came for? Great. Now look behind you. Another good shot? And that's where I feel like you get, okay, when do you have the shot that, have your set of shots and you got to move on?
Yeah,
because that's and again, it goes towards what are you doing? Is this a professional gig? Is this your personal thing?
And I've done things where we got the lights and we got the model, we got everything lined up, and the background doesn't look right, or just something's not. I was like, I take a few shots and I'm like, this is not working. Let's move on to the next location. You got to learn to say no. Let's move on, because you don't want to be stuck in one location. So sometimes saying like, this is not working. We got to move on. And then you move. Then you have more time at the next location.
Yeah. So, the next number 6: composing poorly or too quickly.
Yeah, I've seen that with ballet dancers. You zoom in really tight, their head and shoulders, and then they go, ah! And then their hands are out of frame. And so,
video version's totally different than the audio version.
But
by the way,
my hands are out horizontally or vertically, and then
he's looking very pretty right now.
Yeah, but I was like, so if I know I'm shooting a ballet dancer or someone that's going to have their arms flare outward, make sure I'm shooting wider than I'm shooting really wide.
Absolutely.
And then when they go out for their hands on the top left, bottom right, I got their whole body. And I've learned this too. Shoot wider, because you're caught in the moment and your camera's crooked. You could crop it, get it nice and straight in post. Because I hate it where it's like a little crooked. I try to get it straight, but then I'm cropping off someone's hand or foot.
Right.
I'm like, no.
Oh man, I love being downtown Detroit as often as I am, because especially I'm around Campus Martius most of the day, and I see these, I see photographers, I see a lot what they do, and the composing poorly or too quickly. I see them just like, okay, I want to shot, and they grab something real quick, put them somewhere, and they take that picture, and then they're moving on. One time I saw this, I'm getting some food at a food truck, and I'm kind of making some jokes because they grabbed one of the electric scooters that was all beat up, had scratches all over it, and his and his model or client or whatever, the person his focus, his talent, this man, beautiful model. I don't know if that's what he was, but beautiful model, beautiful suit, and he's standing on this horrible, scarred up electric scooter, which there are other cleaner ones around, but he is very cleaned up on this dirty, scratched up scooter. And I made the joke to the guy in the food truck, and the food truck guys, yeah, I'm sure that porta-john in the background's not helping either.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Now, of course, we don't know how the person's shooting. We don't know. That's all, we don't know anything. He could have, it could be a very narrow depth of field where we don't see the porta-john. We don't know what this is for. We don't know any of that. Just as an outsider looking, it's like he composed that so fast, there might have been a better thing. And it also could just been a targeted opportunity. You don't know.
I had this too where I had a paid shoot, and we missed the hair. There was like this flower in the hair, and the flower flipped upside down. And we're getting the backside of the flower, but I'm focusing on, all camera settings and stuff, and I forgot about the hair. I'm like, the stupid flower is flipped upside down.
Oh,
I'm
no, yeah, that.
And I'm like, oh, darn it. So now, like, on some of these other shoots, if I have someone tagging along, I ask them, I was like, like, besides carrying my gear, could you just do a hair check or makeup check? And if something's wrong, tell us and stop us so we could get it. And then that worked out on a couple other shoots where someone says, "Oh, her, so and so fell off. Let me," and then they go and adjust that because I'm checking focus.
It's so great
checking
having
background.
someone with you, even if they're not professional.
Another set of
like,
eyes.
Can you please, like, look, I may get, my job is doing this, and my mind might get tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision, yeah.
Yeah, can you please do a once over once in a while for me?
Mm-hmm.
They might not catch everything. Now, if they're being a paid assistant, cool. And then
that's cool. Like, you got like someone's brother or sister or boyfriend, girlfriend that tags along, and I ask them, hey, could you just do like a hair check, or if anything's out of place, or like a shoelace is undone or whatever. If you see something, say something. That saved us on so many shoots.
I had this one person I used to work with. She was a continuity person, and she that was her job on several movie sets, and so she came along with me a couple of my shoots, and oh man, having a continuity director, so wonderful. So I would recommend her to anybody, and having it's one of those things where you don't think of having, but when you have the opportunity. They're checking. Oh yeah, let me readjust this. This changed. Oh, the actress sneezed or readjusted her glasses. Let me change this back like this. And amazing, absolutely amazing. Totally recommend that.
I did a 2-night shoot, a video shoot, and then so the guy he had to wear the same clothes.
I just want to clarify that one thing. Of course, hair and makeup. If you can't afford it, that should be like the first person you hire. Hair and makeup is the first person you hire, not continuity. That's way down the list. Hair and makeup's the first person. Food is the second thing you consider with it, if not the first. Just saying, money wise, if you are going to get someone, don't say, "Oh, I need a continuity person." No, hair and makeup, that's also their job.
Yeah. And like you said, someone was wearing a chain the first night, and the second night he wasn't wearing his chain. I'm like, dude, where's your chain? And then it's like, oh yeah, we got to go back to get it. I was like, it's going to take 20 minutes. I was like, it's going to take 20 minutes. You got to go back and get that chain because we're doing this night shoot, and it was going to take 2 nights. And like half his crew wasn't going to be there one night, and the other half was, and
That's also why you have them like if you have to, you have them leave their costume there. That way, it's all there. There's no forgetting.
And you learn from your mistakes too. So then I'm like, okay, now, like you said, the continuity thing is huge. And you make that one mistake, and then you don't make it again.
Okay, the next on the list, 7 out of 9. We're on 7. Chimping. I don't know what chimping is.
Chimping is you take a picture and you look at what you got.
Okay.
You can't chimp on a film camera, which is nice. Because the noise again. I'll go. Take the photo, but on a film camera, I don't know what it looks like. But on digital, I've seen people do that where they're chimping too long. You got the talent out posing, leaning against a tree or a post or whatever, and the photographer, he's just enamored by this photo. He's zooming in, he's looking at it, and I'm like, dude, it's like 3 minutes. You got to keep moving.
Yeah.
And that's that chimping. I mean, you got to I just do a quick chimp to see like my exposure's good. And I'm in focus. Good. I can do click. But everyone's guilty of it now. But some people
they're reviewing.
Like I said, they're reviewing it and they're taking too long. I'm like, no, you gotta.
That it's a great add-on to this list. Totally agree. Yeah, I didn't know that was called. Again, I'm more a videographer than and me reviewing a shot takes longer than a photo.
But I can see if you're going from location to location, but then what if you want to view like a scene that you shot, and then if it was if it took
depends
you
on
10
situation.
minutes,
Everything depends on the situation.
But then that's also cool that if you had another person that chimp for you, and they could go through,
Right.
and then say, "Hey, there was that porta-john that's behind the shot here. Could we take another?"
I would assume that's your friend
shot.
walking with you, going, "Hey, you know, there's a porta-john in this shot, right?"
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
And
But then again, it could have been a narrow depth of field, or you don't know.
a lot of the new cameras now, they have that Wi-Fi thing, and so you could tether your camera
your
to your tablet device, and then so it's bigger screen. Then you know if it's in focus or what it looks like, because looking at the itty bitty screen, you don't know really.
Right.
So it's nice that you could look at the big screen.
Number 8, self-doubt and waiting others to say it's a good photo. I think that's I think that's a gimme. I don't feel, I don't even know. Just you're a photographer. You're meant to be here. You're good. You don't need to validate yourself, especially while you're shooting.
See, it's the salesman person that we got some people that are really good photographers, but they don't know how to sell themselves. And then we got some other people that know how to sell themselves, but their photos are like,
Right.
I don't know, but they know how to. They're a salesman, and they go and they go
you're
door to
right.
door, and it's like,
Hey, look, porta-johns.
yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, we got traffic going by here.
And,
Porta Johns on a trailer.
but yeah. The salesmen and the people that aren't that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
you got
distracted.
the salesman that could sell anything, you know. And I mean, imagine you got salesman that sells the Porta Johns that drive by. You know,
yeah.
I mean, you got to sell it. You know, that's your living, right? But yeah, I've seen some beautiful photos on social media that, you know, it doesn't. They don't have that audience, and it's like, it sucks.
Yeah. I know one photographer, excellent salesperson, and he will post every single picture he takes. He'll go on, take the 300 pictures and post every single one of them, including like 20 shots of the same thing. You know, if you took your time and actually reviewed these and only put up good ones, but that's part of the sell. That's part of the sell, because it's that number pitch. He knows how to sell himself.
Yeah.
That was part of his pitch, and somehow he was able to sell that.
Yeah.
Good for him. And the last one here is experiencing sensory overload when traveling to a new place. I agree. I don't know how many times where I have to tell myself, okay, this is the place we're shooting at. Let me walk around first. And then I'm like, oh, that's great. That's awesome. Oh, I better get this before it's too late.
Yeah. It's still going to be there later on. Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's not, you know what? You have to take this time to calm down. It's important to, again, I'm looking at it from an event videography standpoint, especially when it's during an event and I don't, I didn't get to do a preview or anything like that. I'm walking while all this stuff
Well,
is
if it's an
going
event,
on.
you rather get the shot than you have it. And
Right.
then, maybe you need a setup shot for whatever.
Right, but sometimes I really do need to walk around first, especially because I need to know what I need. If I don't
you might
already
have
know.
like the.
I pretty much know my events and what I need now, but sometimes I don't. Like film festivals, it can be. You never know what you're walking into. There's several different film festivals I've been to, and almost everyone's a completely different situation. Especially if I'm going to record there, I don't know, or have a booth. It's like when I set up a booth. You're going to want to walk around first and kind of get an idea what's going on.
Like you said, the booths. You want to make sure if you're filming all this stuff, do you want to give some of the booth people some love and attention? So you want to give them like, hey, can I get a shot of you with your stuff that you're selling? Right. And you could incorporate that into the video or the photo. And
yeah. But anyway, I'm sure you experience that when you walk into a new area. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, but then it goes back to would someone buy this shot?
Yes.
And then if no, then don't take it. It's beautiful. Don't take a photo of it. But, yeah.
Yeah, it goes back to why are you taking 300 shots of something? And you kind of got to remind yourself. Again, something that happens when you're hiking on a beautiful trail or just something awesome happened. So, Jason, where can we find your stuff at?
You can find me on Facebook, Jason Paluchniak, or Instagram, Detroit_gun. You could find me there.
Oh, so you could find you by Instagram Detroit_gun.
Yeah.
That's probably way easier than trying to.
Yeah. You find me
spell your last
there,
name.
then you find me at other locations. Yeah.
Okay. And you're pretty Googleable too if you can play if you can spell Jason Paluchniak. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And now I need a little snack. Yeah, it says Paluchniak, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And of course, I'm Toaden from Toaden.com. MediaLitterSandwich.com is a website. Share this to your friends if you think this is helpful at all. Please share it to your friends. Let them know that we're here every week on dvradio.net and also YouTube and Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, a ton of other apps, iTunes, if that's still a thing. I think they changed their name or something. I don't know. But yeah, we're all over the podcast stuff. And of course, there's the video version on the websites and YouTube. So yeah, let us know your thoughts. And you can always let us know your thoughts on the Facebook group. Media Litter Sandwich group. And you could talk to us numerous different ways, including emailing podcast@medialittersandwich.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And may the algorithms be in your favor.
Later.